Right then, another fun and exciting video. My shockers comes through on my E93, so this is a common fault. So if you're looking at this, you probably got this anyway. It started off with just having some light knocking noises, but I couldn't really figure it out where it was coming from. And to be honest, it was so light that I didn't bother paying attention to it. And then, and it would only happen occasionally as well, so I couldn't really ever pinpoint it. But then the car's been parked up for a while because I've been taking on other projects and doing other things, and all of a sudden one day I'm going to drive it and there's this loud knock, and I can put my hand over here. So if you imagine there was a cover on top of this, this one here, this cover was there, and I put my hand there and bounced the suspension a little bit, and I could feel it coming through. So I realised, you know, this is what it was. Now initially I thought is this thing here, which this is the top mount. So there's two top mounts, which I'll go into in a second, but this is the upper top mount, let's say. And initially I thought this is what it was, which, to be honest, mine was actually worn out anyway. The metal plate is there. I've still got it in the boot, and that's the metal plate. And I used a separated rubber piece somewhere else, which I'll show you in a second. But nevertheless, when I took this all apart, I thought, right, you know, this is probably it. But having taken it apart, I looked into it and I realized, hold on a minute, that shocker, this doesn't stop it from coming up. It just, you know, it's just there for kind of shock absorption, really. There's not any, it doesn't hold it down essentially. So I thought, okay, this can't be right. Now I've looked into it a bit further, and to kind of give you an understanding, let's take like so. And I looked into it further, and I ordered the whole kit from BMW, which was only about £30, which is definitely worth doing, considering, you know, the individual bits, they can cost a bit more. But once you price it, I mean, the top mount, the upper top mount that we just seen, that was what, £5 or £6. And then I was thinking, you know, is there some sort of a metal plate in this that's worn out? But it's definitely not that. And you know, that's another, what was it, £10 off eBay or something. So by the time you mount the price up, it's just worth changing the whole thing. For the sake of £30, you should do both sides. So anyway, I realized that, but obviously I still had the problem of the shocker coming through. And if I put it back how I found it, so this was on here and this was there. Right, now the way the shocker is at the moment is not going to go through. Well, to give you an idea, if you see that little metal thing, that little ring thing there, that bit that's moving, that's not actually a part of it. That is a part of this metal bracket, metal kind of cup here, obviously. So it's broken through from there. So that's what's failed. Nevertheless, this is how I found it. And when I was putting this, when I was about to put this top mount on, which is, I've got one here, you get one in the kit anyway, but I bought this initially from Euros. I thought to myself, well, this can't be right, because that's not gonna, it's not gonna hold it in place. Nevertheless, I looked into it a bit further and I realised that this is obviously gone. So everything above the bump stop now. So this bit here. So I just thought to myself, I'm going to replace the whole thing. Now this is the bit that I used to kind of support, give it a little bit extra support, just while I was waiting for BMW to get the part in. This is my old top mount, upper top mount kind of rubber thing. So that's what came off of that metal plate that I showed earlier. So I'm just going to replace this whole thing, all of this. I done my shockers a while back, and it is advisable to replace these, but these have obviously lasted me a year, and I knew they would. last me a decent amount of time. Still a bit of a shit design, but yeah, that's that then. So what I've done is, just while we're here, the wheels obviously off, car's jacked up, wheels off. For the E93, it was similar, a similar design for the whole kind of E90 range, but for the E93 you can have the roof halfway up. I've taken off all the covers over here, you can see. So first and foremost, these covers lining up against the boot, and then this one, oh sorry, there's the bracket that goes over here. So yeah, firstly you want to take off this bracket. It's just two 13mm bolts, those come off. And then you want to take off these covers over here on top of the battery cover, on top of the battery, sorry. And then this cover just slides out, and it's going to be quite hard to slide it out because that shocker is going to be pushing right up on it. So what you want to do is jack the car up so that the top of the shocker will go down, and then you should be able to slide it out a lot easier. And then once you've done that, remember this thing here, remember the arrow on there, put that back on the right way when you do. Nevertheless, here we are. I'm going to replace this whole thing. Now the annoying thing is going to be getting that shocker down, because these are actually quite, you know, they're quite tough to get down. So yeah, what I'm going to do is, obviously if you've got a helping hand or something, then that's quite good. But what I'm going to have to do is just literally put a socket over it, a big socket, like a I don't know what I'm going to put over that, to be honest. Probably just a 13mm will do. Probably use a long reach one, and then use a ratchet, an extension, and just apply pressure on it so the shocker goes down. Grab it from underneath. So this is all assembled. This is how it goes. Top mounts here. That'll go on afterwards, but for me to be able to get the shocker kind of back through, this is the cup that sits on top, and then you got this. This is the lower top mount, and then you got just this rubber thing over here. So yeah, you can see where it fails. Obviously over time this thing's just going to bang on top of that, and this just goes straight through by the end of it. I'm guessing that's what the noise was initially, and then lo and behold, you got your shocker poking through. Oh yeah, just to note as well, that bolt can be a bit tricky to get off. So what you can actually do is lower the car, and now it's all assembled, but when you're taking it off, you can lower the car so the shocker comes up. Obviously watch this wiring loom here. Use a socket here, what's this, 6mm socket, put that on top of that, and use a spanner to loosen off the nut. The nut is a 16mm, I believe. So I've done that. However, when you're tightening it, you know, it's going to get, you're not going to be able to tighten it in that space. So I'll show you this. It's all assembled now. That's how it's meant to sit. There's a bump stop. So I've used a mole grip, obviously very carefully, to just hold the shocker in place over here, and then proceed to tighten that. It shouldn't spin then. There should be enough force on it to make sure it doesn't spin anywhere, and then you're pretty much sorted. You won't get any issues from there. So yeah, hope that helps. This is what I found for the list of things that you need. So out of that list you need 4, 5, 6 and 7. That's the part numbers there, and you can get quite cheap from BMW. So yeah, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching.